Hello audience, welcome back. My name is Yost Toast Space Ghost, broadcasting coast to coast, and I just want to jump into the topic that I've been wanting to talk about. They finally brought back Rush into Battlefield 5, into the Battlefield series. So us Battlefield veterans, or people who just love the Rush game mode, have been waiting for this game mode for so long. We should be excited and happy to play this, right? Like, finally, our game mode's back. Well, not exactly. Not in my case, at least. I was excited at first. Like, hell yeah, they bringing Rush back. Like, I don't really care for the other game modes. Like, Grand Operations got on my... like, Grand Operations on its own is pretty good, but playing it after a while, it got on my nerves. I was finally glad to have Rush back. And then I play it, and I am just, you know, distraught and downtrodden to see what one of my favorite franchises has gone to. Now, why would I say that? Why would I say that Rush has become, you know, a shadow of its former self? Well, for one thing, they've restricted the area of operation of Rush, like, very heavily. And I know that Rush is normally restricted, like it's not as wide and open as Conquest normally is, of course, but you still felt like you had multiple options to defend the objectives from, or especially for the attackers, you felt like you had multiple angles to attack the objectives from. Whereas in this one, every single map, well, I should say every single, well, I mean, it is every single map, but you only get 3. Twisted Steel's the only one where you still feel that Rush sense of strategery where you're like, I can go wherever I want to attack this objective from. Narvik is a 3-lane map, and Destruction, especially Destruction, that's the best case for my point there, is very much a 3-lane map. Like on Battlefield 3, I forget the map's name, it's one of the base maps, but you, as an attacker, you start out at the very top of the mountain, and you fight 2 objectives to get to the edge of the mountain, and then you parachute down to that base, and you take out that objective, and one more inside of a tunnel that's been bored, and then that's the end of the game. It has like some sort of number in it, kind of like how Fiel has like Fiel 456 or, you know, whatever. Like that map, even though that one was very limited, especially in Conquest, it felt super limited. Even though that one's limited, I still felt like the possibilities to strategize and take over those objectives were like unlimited. It was possible to do whatever you wanted. You could go charge straight down the middle. You could go through the quarter sides and do a semi-flank. You could go all the way out on the outside and either snipe, you know, sit there and camp and get kills, or you could flank and go around to the back of the base, kill the enemies in their spawn, and push back up, clearing out the objective so your team could plant. You could take the transport helicopter that you got at the beginning of the match, and you could float down to either on top of the objective, or you could, you know, of course, keep the helicopter, or you could drop your teammates off into where your enemies spawn, and you could clear them out and effectively spawn camp them and hold those objectives. Possibilities endless. 3 lanes, of course, 3 lanes. Pick which lane you want, dominate the lane, control the objective. It just does not feel like previous Battlefield Rush game modes felt. Second problem is the faction biases. Now, biases is not the word that I really want here, but they're like favoritism. They haven't shelled out. It is so weird. They have not patched or buffed or corrected these, like the different faction weapons and vehicles correctly yet. So, like, the Germans very much dominate airplane. Like, if you want the better airplane, you want the German side because they have the better airplanes and the better tanks, too. And I think the better weapons. It's just better to be a German all around. Don't take that shit out of context. I just mean for this game. It's better to be on the Axis side. It really is. And the same goes for the attackers versus defenders. You want to be an attacker because they almost incentivize you of being the attacker. Like, if I can put this image up right now, because I am doing all my editing and uploading via SHAREfactory on the PlayStation 4, so I'm very limited in my resources, then right here, you'll see an image of the very beginning objectives on this map, Narvik. Right there, you can see the defenders on Objective B, I think it is. It's at the dead zone, where you can't progress any further past, and you don't want to sit there right at the edge, because there's that hill right there where they can just, the attackers can just look down and mow you out. You don't want to be inside the objective because you can't see, again, the attackers that can just jump over that from the top and just rain grenades down on you because they have the high ground. You know, good old Obi-Wan Kenobi. And so you have to push back, and you have to stay, it incentivizes you to stay away from that objective. And once they take over that objective, then they can just rain and relentlessly pour on the other one. I think it's A. It's either A or B. They can just pour on that one, and basically it incentivizes you to give up the first sector. Like, that's your way of making the new players feel better, is to just give the attackers a freebie on the first sector. It feels so wrong. And that's not like that one. I think that's the only one where the objectives are so close like that. But the other maps feel oddly placed, like Devastation. You know, it's cramped inside of that building, and when you spawn in for the defender side, you can only funnel in one area that's far away, like 20 or 30 meters away from the objectives. So if you got a good team, they can just sit there and camp that one area where your whole team has to funnel in, and you basically get the first objective. Like, it just, being on the defending side just feels like, along with that biases thing that I was talking about, the attackers are the only ones to get any sorts of vehicles. So if it really hits home on why you want to be attacker versus a defender, there's your reason right there. Because even though Assault's objectively the best class to play, a bunch of people don't play Assault, and there's been too many matches where I go 10-0, like that's it. That's all I do the whole match, and I'm the top killing person on my team. 10-0 being an attacker with a tank, just mowing enemies down, because out of 16 people, you know, out of the 16 people on the defending team, maybe only 2 or 3 are Assault, and I can take them out pretty easily. It's just, being an attacker is just turning on easy mode and letting the autopilot take over. Third problem is it's only 16 versus 16, so only 32 players to a map. Now that shouldn't normally be a problem, because every other single console title of the past for Battlefield has been 16 versus 16, with the exception of Battlefield 4, which I think might have been a 64-player game mode. 64 players on the maps, I'm not sure. I didn't play that one on the console, only on the PC. But when you're going from these objectively bigger maps, and you're now confining these small sectors, like, if you notice, it's not like before, like they close each sector down. It's not like past titles where they kept them open. So if you were, say, on the attacking side, and you really wanted to spawn at your beginning spawn base at the very beginning of the map, you could, and you could walk your happy ass all the way back down the map, or, you know, just goof off or do whatever. They don't do that anymore. They actually confine the map down into sectors, so you actually have to progress and move up. And the time, even with all that, the time to kill is horrendously slow for this. Why? Why is the time to kill so damn slow? Of course, the slow time to kill is not exclusive to this game mode. It's something that Battlefield 5 is struggling throughout its whole entire lifespan right now. but it certainly does shine. Like the chink in the armor gets bigger with this game mode. You can see the problems with Battlefield 5 more in this game mode than any other game mode, I would like to think, because, you know, sitting there and getting an average 9 kills a match through a 9-minute game is just not fun, man. It's not fun, and this game incentivizes the defenders to camp rather than strategize and move and effectively disarm and disable the attackers. And it incentivizes the attackers almost just to become bullet sponges and pick up the ordnances for squads. So let me tell you, it is cool, okay? In theory, it is cool how squads can now use barrages to barrage the objectives, like what's going on right now. That's cool. Like that's cool that how that's added in, and I think the points are appropriate. Like how long it takes for you to earn one, basically one, or depending on how good you are, 2 a match. And the smoke barrages for strategic purposes, smoking out an objective or an area to push. Those are very cool, and those, I think those will help Rush as soon as the people are aware of them, because I don't notice too many people using them. This is one of the few games where people use them. But on the same hand, it just incentivizes the attackers to become bullet sponges. You know, just keep racking up points for spawning on enemies or doing damage, you know, and just keep charging, and doing unrelenting barrage. And then you get practically free kills for just being a bullet sponge and getting points, not really contributing to the fight, not really doing anything strategic. It's this very weird duality that I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how they could change, but if they could change it and maybe tweak it up a little better, it would greatly improve Rush. In fact, at the very end, I'm gonna show you how bad it is being an attacker, because we won the game and I had over 3 seconds of ping. I had 2,000, I think at the top of it, 3,000 milliseconds of ping. I called in an ordnance because I was squad leader. I sat down and did nothing as an attacker. I just let my team rack up all the points. Called in, got like 6 points off of 1 strike and won it. So I guess to wrap everything up, Rush has major problems. They've probably tweaked things they shouldn't have tweaked, and Rush is kind of a mess right now. I'm going to leave it on that point. If you're watching this video, please comment in the comment section on why, if you're playing this game, why you like Rush or why you don't like Rush, what you think they could change about Rush, and let's just talk about this as a community and maybe get maybe move our conversations to DICE and have them, you know, have them clean up this game, make it a better experience for everyone. This has been Yosto Space Ghost broadcasting coast to coast, and thank you for watching this broadcast. I will see you next time.
Awaiting orders, Sergeant!
Soldier.
I'm dying! Please!
Good show. Objective Baker destroyed.
Destroy the objective, soldiers! Yeah, I'll fix you. Help me! Blood! Everywhere! Fucking help me! I'm fucking dying here, medic! There's some first aid for you.
Get back fighting, soldier.
Yeah, we need a smoke barrage as soon as possible.
Our forces have armed objective able.
Help me, someone! You gotta help me! They've done me! I need a medic!
We have
I'm
destroyed
fucking
objective
dying here! Medic!
We must clear the enemies from this sector.
Eyes up! Over there! Easy, I'll help you.
The sector has now been fully secured.
Get out there and destroy the objective. Done. Need help? Move out, move out! This'll fix you. Look, there! Patch you, chum.
We have armed objective able.
Danger set.
Objective able is now destroyed. Good work.
Heads up. Danger over there. You getting this? The squad needs a smoke barrage immediately.
Be ready, soldier.
Objective Baker has been armed. Objective Baker is now destroyed. Good work.
Cheers. Go! Now! soldiers! Destroy the objective! Destroy the objective!
We have armed objective Able. The enemy reached objective Baker. It has been defused. We have armed objective Baker. Good work. Objective Able has been destroyed. Excellent work. Objective Baker has been destroyed. Clear all enemies from the sector. Okay, the sector is secured.
The objective! Destroy it!
We have armed objective Baker. Stay alert. Yes, almost there. Keep fighting.
More first
The enemy
aid!
defused objective
objective. Now destroy it.
Objective Baker has been armed. They have defused Objective Baker. Attention, Objective Baker has been armed. Objective Baker has been defused.
There you are, first aid. Grenade going out. Here's some first aid.